Hi there, good afternoon. This is Tirana, the capital of Albania. This is my second time to Albania. I was here before 5 years ago in 2017, but this is my first time to Tirana. I remember taking a bus from Shkodër north of here going south, and the bus stopped in Tirana. I might have had to change buses, but I decided not to stop in Tirana at that time. I've been here for a week now without filming or doing much exploring because I've been holed up in my hotel room editing my Italy videos, because I have a nice room there, as you saw, a good price, and fast Wi-Fi, so making use of that. So this video is going to be a long and ridiculous story about trying to pay a parking ticket. Now the catch, and one of the reasons why this became so complicating, is because it wasn't an Albanian but an Italian one. So I was in Italy for 2 weeks. At the end of my couple weeks in Italy, then I rented a car for 3 days in Matera and had arranged to drop it in Bari, where I had a flight booked to Tirana here, a great deal, $75 including taxes, luggage, everything, for a direct flight, Bari, Italy to Tirana here. It took like 45 minutes, like super quick and easy. But unfortunately, on my last day with the rental car, I was in the Italian city of Monopoli. I came back to my car and there was a ticket, parking ticket, on the windshield. I hadn't even noticed that it was a, pay parking area. It wasn't especially clear. Even if I had noticed, then trying to actually pay for parking in foreign countries can be really, really challenging. I was in Mexico recently, where I also rented a car. I parked in a parking spot there in Playa del Carmen, and I noticed that it was a pay spot. There was the machine there to pay to get your little ticket to put on your windshield. I tried to figure that thing out for like 15 minutes and no luck. Used my credit card, it didn't work. And so I finally gave up and found a parking spot that didn't require paying. But anyways, this time I didn't even notice that you had to pay for that spot. And so, just mention here, part of the point of this video is to give you a little taste of the streets of Albania, of Tirana here. I'm not sure if I'll actually make a full tour of Tirana. I am most likely not going to stay for long in Albania. Still figuring out my upcoming plans, but we'll see about that. So I get this parking ticket and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a pain to deal with. But I continue with my exploring for the day. It was the day that I had my flight, and then I get back to the airport, or get to the airport. I picked up the car in Matera, Italy, and then was dropping it off in Bari. And so I almost didn't even mention the parking ticket to the guy, just because I figured, well, probably the way that it will work is they will send the parking ticket to them and they will charge me on my credit card, and no huge deal. It was for 29 euros and 40 cents, so like $33 or so, not a big deal. I had once gotten a speeding ticket in Malta that was from one of the speeding cameras. Never knew that it happened. Like a month after I left, then I got the bill on my credit card, and so I contacted them, asked them, what is this charge for? And they explained that it was for a speeding ticket. And so I figured that the parking ticket would be the same kind of a situation, but I decided to go ahead and mention it to him anyways. So I show him the parking ticket and he says, okay, yeah, well, you can pay by wire transfer. I'm like, oh man, what is this gonna involve? Like, how do you even do that? And so I tried to get a little more information from him, you know, like, where do I do this? He was like, well, you can maybe do it online with your bank account, or go to a post office. I'm thinking, post office? Like, I'm flying to Albania, like, right now. I'm dropping off the car, going to the airport to catch my flight. And so I'm thinking, what are the chances that I'm going to be able to pay an Italian parking ticket in Albania at the post office? But anyways, he gives me like a few options: post office, bank, or mailing, I think. And of course, that would be a real pain in the butt as well. So anyways, I catch my flight, hold on to the ticket, and arrive in Tirana. Now, this was on a Friday, so weekend coming up, so I can't go to the post office or a bank or whatever. And so I decided that the first action to take is to call my bank and find out if paying with the IBAN number that is on the ticket is even possible. So I give them a call, and no luck. They need more information than what is on the ticket in order to make a wire transfer. So on Monday, then I go to a bank here in Tirana. It was a little late in the afternoon, like 2:30. And of course I'm aware that, you know, maybe the banks are going to close earlier than in the US. So I go to, I think, Bank of Tirana. There's a line outside. It is 2:50 and the bank closes at 3. So, you know, my bad in that regard, but in the end it, you know, didn't matter anyways. So I wait in the line for a little bit, and then it's obvious that this isn't going to happen. I look on my phone, find another bank right nearby that closes at 3:30. I walk over there. Again, there's a line of people like out, and I'm talking outside the bank. There are people waiting for the door, and it isn't entirely clear how it works, because sometimes people just like walk up and then walk in, and other people are waiting, and it is not moving quickly at all. So I'm standing there for a little while at the second bank, and again, it isn't looking good that this is going to happen before 3:30. And so I decide to look on my phone and see if there's some sort of a wire transfer place. So I just search wire transfer on my phone, and this place RIA comes up. It's a few blocks away. So I decide to bail on the bank and walk over to this RIA, look at the beautiful snow-covered mountains. This is like the first sunny day since I've been here for the whole week. It's been raining, overcast, cold, so that is probably fresh snow there. So I walk over towards this RIA money transfer place. On the way, I pass a Western Union. So I decide, okay, might as well give this a try. Figure I might as well ask them, is a wire transfer with an IBAN number something they can do? Ask them, no, they do not. And by the way, I'll mention that English is very widely spoken here. Basically, like all the young people that I've interacted with have spoken quite good English. Not exactly all, actually. A couple of shops, they didn't. But especially anywhere like a business sort of a place, and people will speak English. But Western Union does not do wire transfers to banks, so scratch that one. So I continue towards RIA. On the way, then I pass another bank with no line. It is still open. So I pop in there and ask them, can you make a wire transfer to this Italian bank? I don't even know like the bank name or anything. It's just an IBAN number. And they say, no, in order to do this, basically you would have to have an account. Open an account, and obviously that's just completely ridiculous to try to do that. So scratch banks in Albania off the list. It's going to be the same situation any other bank. I continue to this RIA place, ask them, and once again, negative. They cannot make a wire transfer with a IBAN number. So I'm really running out of options here. Oh, so an important thing to explain here that I should have mentioned earlier is the consequences if I don't pay the ticket at all. Why don't I just like not deal with the ticket? And so I had asked the guy at the rental car place at the airport when I dropped off the car, so what happens if I just like don't pay this ticket, since obviously it's not my car or anything? And he said, well, first of all, the ticket price increases if you don't pay the ticket within 5 days. Not by too much. It goes from 29 euros to 42 euros. And so if I don't pay it, then the police, parking people, whatever, will send it to them, the ticket, you know, at the point at which it is increased. So it's now 42 euros or 50 bucks at that point. It gets sent to them. And then they will add on a 90 euro administrative fee. So about 100 bucks. So in other words, if I pay the ticket, it's going to be like $35. If I don't, it's going to be like 150 bucks. So that is my motivation to actually take care of this. However, despite that, so the symbol of Albania, it's on the flag there. However, despite the cost of 150 bucks, I'm getting to the point of thinking, is it worth my time going forward with this at all at this point? Or do I just forget about it and be like, 150 bucks, whatever. Stop wasting my time and energy. But figure might as well exhaust all options. So I have the number of the rental car company in a WhatsApp message chat. And so I send them a message and explain, I've tried everything. I've tried a bank here. I've tried my bank. I've gone to Western Union. I've gone to this other wire transfer place. And nothing is working. And so the guy messages back and says, send me a photo of the ticket. And so I'm thinking, okay, he's going to take care of this and then just charge me. So that's great. So I sent him a photo of the ticket. And then he responds back, and he's circled a number at the bottom of the ticket and says, call this phone number. It's obviously an Italian phone number, like the parking people or the police. I think it's the police. And so now I'm like, oh, great. Is this worth trying to deal with, you know? Are they going to speak English? Is like the number even going to work? Is it going to be an hour-long wait or Italian message system that I have to try to navigate or whatever? But okay, I try with my phone because I have international phone service and I can make phone calls, so that's not really a big problem. And so I call the number, and just like right away, a guy just picks up the phone and answers. So that's great. And he speaks fairly good Italian, but not great, and also just with like the sort of background noise and whatever. I'm trying to explain to him, I have a parking ticket I got in Monopoly, so this is like the Monopoly police department I'm talking to. I'm trying to explain that I need to pay this ticket, and he doesn't understand, and he's saying, you want to pay for the parking? Like, he thinks that I'm like standing at the car trying to figure out how to pay for the parking at the parking spot or whatever. He's just not comprehending that I have a parking ticket now that I need to pay. And then I'm trying to explain that I'm in Albania, and that's making it more confusing. And then I ask him if he has WhatsApp, and he says yes. And he gives me his WhatsApp number, like his personal WhatsApp number. So I sent him a photo of the ticket and explain the situation, and he now understands. And so he responds back and says, "This is a parking violation that you need to pay." I'm like, yes, exactly. So how do I do it? And then he says, "There's an IBAN number. You go to a bank and you pay with the IBAN number." And I respond back and I'm like, "I've tried all this. This doesn't work." Amazing square here. Must be like the main square, I assume. I haven't done any research or anything on Tirana yet. Very interesting city, very lively, as you can see, very busy, lots of people out and about. Basically no masks or restrictions. I'll mention as far as flying in here, travel restrictions wise, COVID, then I was asked for my vaccination card at the airport in Bari, and that was it. But still, they did ask for that. But as far as like going to restaurants, nobody has asked for a Vax card at all. Basically nobody wearing masks. So things are pretty normal here. I love Tirana. And so I write back to the guy and explain clearly, I have tried everything and I just cannot pay this parking ticket with the information that is on here, with just this IBAN number. And so he understands and he's like, okay, let me work on this. And then he writes back and includes a screenshot that has more information, the like Swift/BIC code and some other information, and says you should be able to make the wire transfer with this info. And so when I had talked to my bank before, then they had said that you can do this through your account. And so I get online, log into my bank account, and start going through the process, and it is just ridiculously complicated how much information you need, like multiple pages, you know, the bank name, the bank address, the address of the business, or in this case the police department, all kinds of other information. But I'm getting through it, getting close, and then I need some more information. I message him again, get the name of the bank address. Basically, I get what it seems like I need to make the wire transfer happen. And then I'm just about to click send, and then I see two problems. The first is that even though luckily it is only a $5 fee, so that was a nice surprise. I thought it would be more. So it's only $5 for me to make the transfer, but it says that the receiving bank might have fees that will be deducted from the amount. And so that leaves me wondering, like, without knowing what those fees might be, if something is deducted, then the bill isn't paid, and then what happens? Then there's still outstanding bill, it still has to be dealt with. Maybe the price still increases, and then it gets sent to the rental car company, even if it's only like a couple bucks or whatever. And so that's the first problem. The second problem is that it's going to take 9 days. So, as I mentioned, if you don't pay the bill in 5 days, it's not clear if this is 5 business days or 5 days from the date that I got the ticket because of the weekend. Now it's like the third or fourth day. But that's kind of irrelevant because either way, obviously you can't pay a ticket within 5 days if it takes 9 days for the transfer to go through. And so then the problem is, once again, if the bill isn't paid in full, then there's an outstanding balance. And then you're back at like, the rest gets sent to the rental car company and then they still charge me the $100. Or maybe this all happens before the 9 days. When the money gets to them, they don't get any of the payment before they send it to the rental car company. And then I get charged the full amount on top of what I'm about to pay with the wire transfer. And so then I'm like looking at $200. So I'm thinking, forget it, just... Hi there. Where am I from? United States.
United States?
Yeah.
England. From England?
No, United States of America.
Ireland.
Not Ireland, no, different.
What do you work? Good to see you.
You too, man.
What do you work?
I work at a hotel in Canada.
What?
A hotel, like front desk, reception.
For what?
Front desk, reception, hotel.
Very good.
Yeah. You from Tirana?
Canada. You work in Canada?
Yeah, Jasper National Park.
You want to take it?
Yeah, sure. I'm catching a flight tomorrow. You want to come?
Yes. Yes.
Go tomorrow?
Yes.
To Canada?
You can take?
No.
Why?
I'm staying in Albania for a while.
You're staying in Albania. You don't take there. You don't take there?
No, not for a long time. Not for a long time. Yeah. Maybe I go to Kosovo next.
You Kosovo? You have been to Kosovo?
No, never been there. Never been there. Yeah.
No. You live in?
I just travel.
Canada.
Yeah, I live in Canada. Yeah.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Canada's amazing. It's beautiful.
Here, you like here?
I do. It's a nice city.
I like here more. It's with sun, but not sun in Canada. Not with sun.
There's sun. There's snow. There's
What?
rain. There's a bit of everything. Say again. In Canada, there's snow. There's sun.
snow,
there's rain. There's a bit of everything.
It's
so
cold, yeah.
it's kind of a cold. Yes, especially right now. It's pretty cold. So
It's very something said like.
what's that?
Life is very something to think. You
Yeah.
are here, not in Canada.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
I live in Canada.
Yeah.
You understand? That's fine.
Cool. I'm gonna keep walking.
Where are you right now?
I'm going this way. No, thank you. All right, not sure what that guy was about, but definitely seemed very sketchy. So I'm at the point of giving up, but I send the policeman a message again and explain the situation with the 9-day wire transfer. And he basically says, don't worry about it. We'll still honor it. You can just pay the 29.40 euros and it's going to work out. So I take him at his word on that and go back into my account, fill out all the info, and send the money. So that is basically the end of the story. I hope to heck, because now it's out there kind of in limbo. So you make this payment, but then you have to identify, of course, the parking ticket that you are paying. There's a number for that, the license plate of the car, so you include that info, but it's just like a subject box. And then this is going to go to a bank, and then they have to somehow match that up. I mean, I guess it will work. Hopefully it will work, but it still seems very kind of shadowy, especially with the 9 days it's going to take and everything. So I will not be at all surprised if sometime in the next like 6 to 8 weeks, then I get this bill on my credit card from the rental car company. The payment was never received or whatever, and I'm charged the full $150 anyways. but at least I did the best that I could, and hopefully it all works out. In the end, it is not a huge deal, whether it's $50 or a couple hundred, but of course, hopefully that goes through. So that is it, my crazy story of trying to deal with something that should be a lot easier. Speaking of which, another one. Hopefully it is easier to pay a parking ticket in Albania when it's an Albanian parking ticket. And so I'd asked the guy at one point, like, is there just an easier way to deal with this? Like PayPal, to do a bank wire transfer to pay for a parking ticket just seems kind of like 20th century, you know, like really old school, but that was the only option. So I never did try the post office here, but I highly, highly doubt that that would have worked. All right, let me just get up here, get a little view. Looks like looking out over the city, show you just a little bit more here of Tirana. So I think it's about 5 p.m. now. Sun about to go down, and definitely getting colder. I have no idea where I am. Never been to this part of the city before. I had been to that place where I started the video, and I liked the cool art thing right where I started it that I like walked under. And so just decided to start from there and then just walk randomly. So actually using my navigational senses, I probably have to go that way. I'm not entirely certain. But love the looks of those mountains. So I'm thinking about at least making one other stop in Albania to a Albanian town about an hour away. Try to get a little bit more of a taste of this country that I know very little about, despite having been here before. I spent, I don't know, 10 days or something, but all in like smaller towns. Here you definitely get a real sense of the culture and the just kind of vibe of the people and the country and the big city here. And it's, yeah, more interesting and a lot more going on sort of than I expected. Lots of nice restaurants and pretty modern city. People seem very cool. English commonly spoken. Lots of young people. Nightlife, fair amount to do. So I'm not sure what's happening next, but we shall see fairly soon. Have a good one.